Welcome to Stopped for a While. You found the end of the road at the Peaceful Place, a quiet little hideaway on the Queensland coast where the yarns are long and the truth takes a well-earned holiday. Picture yourself arriving at the Peaceful Place at the very end of a long day's drive where you can finally relax. Let's settle in together and share some stories with you. If you've ever hit the road with your home trailing behind you, everything packed onto the roof or into your boot, you'll know the kinds of unique, quirky characters you'll meet along the way. Those characters are what inspire the stories that we tell here on Stopped for a While. We share the tales of the wanderers drifting through. These are their stories, the stories reserved for that magic hour when the tent is up, the caravan is finally level, and the drinks are icy cold. We chat about what happened on the journey, regardless of whether it actually did.
A phenomenal downpour, and every tent was just full of water. You know, and we asked him to ask the good Lord to turn it off, and you wouldn't believe it, 5 minutes later.
As the southern states cool, travellers of all ages follow the pleasant, mild weather north. Along the way, they pause to share their stories, making brief stops before continuing their journey. Many pass through the Peaceful Place, staying a night or two before they reach their ideal starting point for their holiday. And by August, as the air warms again, they begin to journey homeward. 2 knees and a hernia. So, this traveller, he rolled in and stayed for a few days. A lovely bloke with a story about the last 6 months of his life. Now, he's an older fella, well into those I'm too old for that years. He'd spent a lifetime working all over Australia, and then he finally retired. And after that, he'd been putting off a hernia operation for ages, so he went and finally had it done. He told his doctor, "I'm hitting the road as soon as I'm done here." The doc looked at him and goes, "Bob, you better get that left knee looked at while you're here. It's bone on bone, mate. Let's sort out the pain before your big trip. In fact, let's do both knees." So Bob did it. 4 days after surgery, he was up and walking. Just 4 weeks later, he got the all clear. And he was back on the road with his Isuzu and a 20-foot van, finally travelling Australia, not for work, but as a real tourist. Now let's talk about campers who use a website. It's like Trivago. It's for great rates. They book online, snag a special rate for an overnight stay, and still find a way to grumble about the price. We've had a few. The next morning they're gone, leaving behind an overflowing bin and a bit of a mess. But then there was one camper van that was booked as a tent, not a camper van. It rolled in with a pair of young Europeans, early 20s, one guy and one girl. They did everything together. They even showered together, once in the men's and once in the women's. Couldn't help but notice. Are these stories in any way true? Well, that's a secret for the Peaceful Place. For Clint and his wife, the getaway was welcome. He'd been in a colder climate for a while, so he needed to get away, and they stopped for a while. How did you get here? What made you come to the Peaceful Place? What made you come?
Well, we've been sort of travelling around. Any chance we get, we like to take a holiday, get back and relax. And we've got family that live up in Burnett Heads. And we've always travelled through here and looked at the area, and we've got a mate of ours, Charlie, who the electrician. Yeah. So, and Charlie actually lived sort of higher up on the block in Woombye. Yeah. When we were living there, we owned a house there, but then with our travels, we always try to go somewhere different. Yeah. And this is just like heaven. This place. Yeah. You know, it's just so clean. There's no issues. You know, like you can talk to anybody and say g'day. Yeah. And that's the sort of people we are. You know, we don't spend time sort of staying in the caravan, for instance. We like to get out and talk to people. That's it. And you get to know more about the neighbourhood. You get to know about the culture of the place, which is, for me, because I'm half Aboriginal. Okay. And my mob actually were born and bred out in Mitchell, out in southwest Queensland. Yeah. And I was born in Roma. And a lot of the places that I've worked on over the years have actually been part of Goongarrie mob land.
Okay.
So it's important for me to sort of know about culture.
And the feel of the place.
Yeah.
And we've been here almost a year, and from day one, walking up the street with the dog.
Exactly.
Wave to everybody and they go, yeah, hey, how are you?
Yeah. And like, we were just down a bit of a rest after pumping a few yabbies. And, people just stopped, how'd you go? You get a few,
Yeah.
it's and they're not from here,
Yeah.
but they're doing the same thing.
They're doing the same.
It's, and you don't find a lot of places that are this friendly. We've spent a lot of time in Bundaberg. We lived in Bargara for quite a long time. But Bundaberg itself is a very cliquey place. You look sideways at a person and they want to put the
right.
proverbial hand through your head, So it's learning about, but also being familiar with the ground that you go to as well.
Yeah.
And
one of the things that I thought of when we were setting up this podcast was making it like everyone's been to this place, if you understand what I mean.
do.
And also to sort of look at places and go, well, you don't need to go to the Gold Coast or just into the hinterland where it's really beautiful place, but it's still just a stone's throw from the rat race. This is as far from the rat race nearly as you can get.
If you go to, as you say, the Gold Coast and places like that, everyone's competing to do something or be something or be somebody important.
Yeah.
It's not us.
Yeah.
We're country people. Like Robbie was born and bred in Barcaldine. I was born and bred in Roma, so we're country people.
That's it.
And we love that country feel to a place. That's what made us want to stay longer. Normally we'd spend 3 or 4 days in a place.
Yeah.
But to be able to spend 10 to 12 days in a place and make it feel like that's where you want to be.
And what do you do for work?
I'm a health and safety professional, so I work in many different industries. I started out with electrical, with Ergon Energy, oil and gas, mining, civil construction, healthcare. Yeah,
All right.
So I've worked in hospitals and I'm an ex-paramedic. My wife is a nurse and it's very funny because Robbie wasn't always a nurse, She was an air hostess for TAA back many years ago.
Many years ago.
And then she was a hairdresser, had her own salons. And after we got together, I said to her one day, I said, why are you a hairdresser? You need a psych qualification to look after your clients, And she said, oh, well, I just put up. I said, you'd make a great nurse. And we discussed it. And then about 6 or 7 months later, she said, oh, I'm going to do nursing.
Nice.
And so now she's been nearly 10 years in the trade at the same hospital at St Andrews in Brisbane.
Nice.
And so she...
when we spoke here on Christmas Day,
Yep.
I get a feel.
Yep.
I can pick nurses. She had that feel.
Yeah,
that feel
she does.
about that, the way she converses with you, the way she just communicates with you.
And the thing is, Robbie's biggest strength is that she is so calm in situations. I've seen her work. And like, I've travelled for, we've been together for 28 years and married for 22. And, I've travelled for most of my working career. And she, we talk daily when I'm away. But to know what she's doing daily when she's having a bit of problem or, and we sit down and talk through it. And just recently we had to put our dog down, Diesel, our Staffy, and I was over in New Zealand, over in Gore, working on wind turbine farm, and she had to put the dog down on her own, and that's a really hard thing.
It's a hard thing to do when you're together.
Yeah, and and he was like a second heartstring for us, and so to have to put him down,
17 for a staff,
for a Staffy,
yeah,
and so she handled that really well, but It takes it out of you.
Yeah, you need to talk, don't you?
You do.
You need to talk. Yeah,
exactly.
What are you towing?
We've got a 17-foot Snowy River.
Nice.
Yeah. It's not a bad van. We bought it brand new.
Toes nice?
Ties very nicely. And the thing is, you get your balance right on them. We like to run with it with empty water tanks, so you don't get that sloshing around and you don't get that extra movement. A little bit of trouble with it when we first bought it, warranty-wise. We had a tow ball, brand new 50mm tow ball.
Yeah.
And we were towing up a slight incline after we left home at a limber, and it jumped off the tow ball. And luckily the wheel, the trolley wheel, pulled back against the chains, and we also had the electric brakes on as well. Towed it up to the top of the hill, and I said, well, but look, you know, the latch is still on, the pin was still through, and so we got into the nearest super cheap, and I grabbed a pair of Werner calipers off them. The ball was 50mm, the hitch was 52mm. So straight away I bought a DR35, DO35 towing hitch, and got our all caravan repairs to put it on for us, and we haven't had a damn any problems with it since.
DO35 on ours as well, and it can be a bit awkward, but once you line it up,
they're excellent.
Days there for it. What do you tow it with?
We've got a 2016 Holden Colorado.
Oh, Colorado, okay. Yeah.
The 2.8, and goes very well.
Yeah.
You know, towing full, we're probably about 300 under our GDVM.
That's all good.
Yep. So, and we sit on, I don't try to sit on 110 and 110 zone. If people want to overtake me, I'm in the left-hand lane. They can do whatever they like.
That's right.
And, so we get about 15.5, 16 to the 100.
That's all right.
Which is very good.
That's all right. Yeah.
So
nice work.
Cruiser that we were towing it with at one stage.
Oh, right.
But it was supercharged.
Okay.
So it was pulled about 17 to 18 to the 100. But my son's got that now. So
the yellow one.
Yeah, the yellow one.
The yellow beast, yeah. Nice.
It's that thing absolutely like a rocket.
Yeah.
Oh, gee whiz.
A question right out of the left field, because that's what I like to do. Have you seen, heard of, or experienced anything in a park anywhere where you've travelled, where you've gone? Is there anything that's sort of come to you?
Oh, actually, probably the worst thing has been we went camping with over Easter with a priest who actually married us.
Oh yeah.
And we were. It was a phenomenal downpour. And every tent was just full of water. You know, and we asked him to, ask the good Lord to turn it off. And you wouldn't believe it, 5 minutes later. Father Keith was he was a hell of a man, and it was a Lutheran. He was a Lutheran priest, and our Lachlan, our son, went to the Lutheran school in Bundaberg, which was where we met, and we used to go camping with them, and had quite a bit of fun. One time we were camping with them, and there were some motorbikes that came through the camp, and there was a pregnant lady who was in a tent, and they destroyed her tent while she was in it. Didn't know she was in there, and drove over part of the tent and tore it to pieces. And I vowed and declared that if they came back, that we'd hold them to notice.
Yes.
And you wouldn't believe it, that afternoon they decided to come back through, and I grabbed a piece of stick that I had, and as they came through, he saw me and thought that I was going to bop him with the stick, and he did this big U-turn on the motorbike and fell off right in front of me.
Oh, lovely.
And I just went wallop right on top of the helmet and give him a few choice words, and then said, mate, pregnant, you've caused her undue stress, and you've got more than an apology to do. And then as I was giving him a little bit, 3 other guys hopped out of a car that was following, and I thought, here I go.
Oh, they're getting ganged up
on. And then Father Keith and one of the other boys come up, and one of them was holding a shovel. He got your back.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Like funny things that happen like that. We've never had anything bad. We've we've always, we're very calm about our situations and things like that. We know how to sort of take care of good situations. Karma comes back and helps you at times too.
Exactly.
Exactly. Typical story. Went into Hervey Bay, went to Aldi, went to pull a dollar coin out and realised that I only had a New Zealand dollar coin that wouldn't fit. And this lady right alongside of me said, "Oh, it's Christmas. Here you go. Here's a dollar coin. Take this one." She said, "No, this is Christmas." So I went in, did my shopping, come back out, put the trolley back, and then as I was coming out, this other lady was going to get one. I said, "No, it's Christmas. This lady handed this to me. I'm handing it to you. You hand it on."
Yeah, lovely. Lovely.
So just something to make people feel good.
That's the beauty of this place, isn't it? And
it is.
Yeah. And what happens when you stop for a while?
Well, when we stop for a while, it's just like recharging.
Yeah.
Like Robbie and I this is the longest holiday that we've had in 20 years.
Wow.
If something happens, I've got to head off to work urgently, or when I was in the army, when I was with the ambulance service, it was a case of drop everything and go.
Yep.
So for us to spend 10 to 12 days in a place, this is bloody heaven to us.
Lovely. The morning sees the tents packed, the hitches secured, and those staying a little longer at the peaceful place watch the dust settle, savouring the stories that have been left behind. But the quiet is only temporary, knowing the road always brings a new storyteller looking for a place to rest, and their stories will be shared when they choose to stop for a while. Stopped for a While is written and produced by Barry at Macmouth Media. Original music was written and performed by Ben Clayton, with special thanks to Rob Laffer, the man at Serenity Caravan Park. So let's sit back with a cool drink and wait for the next story. We'd love to hear from you too. Share your stories, your thoughts, or just drop us a line. You can become part of this community of storytellers. You can find us on our website, send us an email, or even check us out on Instagram. Share your experience with us. They might spark a new conversation and inspire new tales for everyone to enjoy.